Hello. Thanks for taking the opportunity to stop by and learn more about structured work systems. Structured work systems are a part of the TEACH strategy used here at Chalita. They are widely used within the school setting, and I can't wait for you to get a little bit more information so that you can be successful in helping our kids within the classroom. Some outcomes for this learning module include the learner will be able to determine the importance of structured work systems in relation to student independence, motivation, and success. The learner will increase their knowledge base of structured work system design and effectively utilize the knowledge in real-life scenarios. The learner will be able to distinguish between the different types of work systems and determine why a specific type of work system may work for an individual learner. The learner will deepen their understanding of visual supports and utilize prompting systems to cue learners. The learner will broaden their confidence in establishing and maintaining structured work systems within a classroom setting. So you may be asking, what is a structured work system? A structured work system is classified as a systematic and organized presentation of tasks and materials that visually communicate at least 4 pieces of information to the student. So what does this mean to me? How can I improve my predictability for students? Giving them structure. Also, what is expected of my learner? If a student comes into the learning environment, do they know what is expected of them? And how can I teach independence to my students so that they can go on to be lifelong learners? Here are some key features of a structured work system. Students should be able to do these skills independently. For example, if a student can complete puzzles with mastery, this might be a skill we would teach them. We wouldn't have them complete tasks that they have never learned because we know that they could not be independently successful. Pre-taught skills work best, so skills that we're trying to maintain are beneficial to this work system. 4 key features of a structured work system include the physical environment in which the work system is present in, the visual schedules that are utilized within a work system, the work systems themselves, and the organization of the task at hand. The physical organization includes the system in which the environment plays a role in. So for example, when the system is used correctly, it is set up before the student arrives. The area is clean and furniture is arranged in a simple manner. Consider this. If you come into a cluttered environment, do you know what's expected of you? This is true also for our students. Within the structured work systems, we may utilize folders, bins, containers, or shelves. This is dependent on your student's abilities, and your student's abilities to manipulate these items. On the right side of a student should be a completed area, so that a student knows when they are completed where the finished work may go. We should limit visual and audio stimuluses. For example, having a loud and chaotic environment may cause distraction for our students. Giving predictability to where to sit, stand, or put items is key to the physical organization. Having chairs, using different colored tapes allows our students to know where they need to be and what they need to be doing. So this may look different for different age students or students with different instructional levels. For example, a student who is in primary grades may have an environment in which is color-coded, while another student, possibly in high school, may have a learning environment that is more independent and more appropriate for their age. Visual schedules. Visual schedules help learners understand what tasks need to be done. For example, adults use checklists when they go to the grocery store, so they know what items they may need at the grocery store. 3 ways that students may receive their schedule and anticipate what needs to be completed including items from left to right, using visual icons or shapes, so they're matching items on their schedule. It might have a shape of a triangle, and then they would match that triangle label to a triangle box within the cabinet. Or for our students that have very well-written skills and are able to read, we may utilize a written schedule. And then students also need to know what happens after items are finished. It is helpful to use a reinforcement component. So for example, for our primary students or students who may be functioning below grade level, we may use items like a favorite toy that we could leave on the table, so that they know that when they are done with their work, they will get to play with that toy. So using that first then language is important with our students, visually as well, but providing that reinforcement for a preferred item after completing a task is beneficial for our students. So work systems answer some of these questions. What activities do I complete? How many activities are there? When am I finished? And what happens when I am done? These 4 questions are important to how we determine how we set up the work system for our kids. Are these questions able to be answered? If they are not, we need to go back and relook at how we set up our work system. Task organization. This is used to maintain skills and continue to allow students to be independent. IEP goals should be taken into consideration. So what goals are we trying to get our students to maintain, but also learn? What skills does the family want the student to learn? For example, once they leave Cholita, are they going to a group home? Will they need more independence? Will the staffing be different? Is it age appropriate and appropriate for the functioning level of our student? While many of the tasks that we have for our students may seem appropriate for their functioning level, we must also take into consideration that they may be high school students. So is it age appropriate to have them sorting certain items? Some of these items or things that we may be asking them to do is to complete task boxes, file folders, or put in bins. So I have a question for you. Why is it important for our students? Structured work systems allow for predictability for our students. Students know what is expected of them before they complete the task. This may allow them to feel less anxious and more motivated to complete the task. Students become independent through structured work systems and allow them to gain skills for the future. Giving them the independence to be successful will hopefully give them the confidence for the future to also try new skills. Students learn the value of structure and routine to their daily lives, and this may help with other skills. For example, crossing environments. Work systems are individual-based. Work systems may include the use of visuals, written schedules, or numbers to meet the needs of the student. The number of tasks is determined by the student's skill level and ability to attend a task. If we know that a student is not able to attend to a task for very long due to attention, we may limit the number of tasks, for example, 1 task. However, if we know that the student can be successful and have attention, then we may give them 3 or 4 tasks. It is also important to differentiate activities as needed. For example, we may give them puzzles and file folders and put in tasks all in the same work system. Giving them flexibility and keeping them engaged is important to this process. Now I want you to think about these 2 scenarios that I have for you. The first scenario is that Billy is a high school student who has an academic functioning level of a 4th grade student. He enjoys fitting in and being social with his peers. He is often disorganized and forgets to complete assignments. When he does have time to work on homework in class, he often spends his time talking with peers or trying to find materials. How could we use structured work systems to help Billy be successful? So we need to find age-appropriate materials for him, but he also enjoys fitting in. So we may want to use a written schedule because we know that he is at an academic functioning level of a 4th grade student. I want you to think about this too. Could his visual schedule be laminated or small on his desk so that he remembers just him? Giving him a visual schedule with pictures would not be age appropriate because we know that he does have those skills. All right, let's look at the next one. So Lily is a 1st grade student who is working on becoming more independent during free choice time. She enjoys completing puzzles, but often asks if free choice time is over multiple times throughout the scheduled time. Lily lacks foundational reading skills and benefits from visual pictures. So how could we use structured work systems to help Lily be successful? The first thing I would suggest would be to use a timer if you aren't using a visual timer yet. The next thing I want you to think about is that Lily, we know, lacks foundational reading skills. So a written schedule probably wouldn't be the most appropriate for her. We do know that she benefits from visual pictures or using picture exchange communication systems. So we may want to use PECS or real life icons to get Lily to be more aware of her time. We may also want to use puzzle visuals based on the specific puzzles that she may complete, and give her exactly how many puzzles you may want her to complete. For example, 3 puzzles, and then we can go to a more preferred item. All right, and here are the list of references that I've used. After you complete this learning module, please check back to the learning site so that you can complete the post survey. Thank you.